Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chair Eidsvogen, County Board Supervisors, special guests, staff, and members of our Portage County community. Wisconsin Statute 59.17 reads that the county executive shall annually and otherwise, as may be necessary, communicate to the board the condition of the county and shall recommend such matters to the board for its consideration as he or she considers expedient. This presentation is my annual report on our county's condition. A copy of the speech is available on the county's website. In our strategic planning sessions recently, there have been questions about quality of life related initiatives in the plan that were gathered during the public input process to the plan. And a copy of the Master Strategic Plan for anyone who views this later and hasn't had a chance to have a copy of that to this point in time can be found on the county's website or by calling our office. This evening, I will focus on the county's condition, our county's condition, through the eyes of citizens who have made it a priority in their lives to help maintain and improve various dimensions of our community's quality of life. At your place this evening is a copy of the Life Report. In case you haven't had one before, this Life Report also available at a website that will be noted in the narrative of this speech, and a copy of this speech then is located as of tomorrow morning on the county's website. At your place is the copy of the Life Report, a report that outlines local indicators for excellence in Portage County. In 2012, this report had been published. Portage County government was a full and engaged partner in developing the report, along with many other people, nonprofits, and businesses in our community. If you open the cover, you'll see that the purpose of the Life Report is to identify community strengths, challenges, and priorities that help guide and mobilize action to improve life in Portage County. It's also intended to be an effective tool in raising awareness in our community about quality of life issues, as well as to monitor trends and underlying causes. A 19-member steering committee comprised of local business, government, education, public safety, health, and social service agencies led in the development of this guide. Additionally, over 60 volunteer leaders in our community served on various planning committees and did the heavy lifting to help us develop community indicators reflective of data, statistics, and community perspectives. As part of the community assessment, 2 surveys were administered. And the surveys that were administered are described starting on page 83 of the report. It might be something that you'd like to look at in the future. I included public input in strategic goal number 1 in our strategic plan, and that goal reads, facilitate and strengthen countywide community development. I know we'll have some changes coming soon, and I'm looking forward to that too. And more specifically though, again, facilitate and strengthen countywide community development, and more specifically into the objective under that goal, objective 1C, 1C, to maintain and improve the quality of life with and for Portage County citizens. The state of our county equals the state of our people. And the state of our people is directly related to the state of our community and quality of life. Our quality of life in Portage County is addressed comprehensively in the Life Report under the tabs on the side of the report, tabs that are named family, economic environment, health and wellness, education, environment, energy and transportation, and public safety and community. You'll see those tabs, as I mentioned, on the right side of the report. I believe that the goal of government is to partner with the people in addressing current issues and realizing a shared vision. The condition of our county, then, to cite the statutory language mentioned at the top of this speech, lies in the condition of our citizenry. The condition of our county is demonstrated through the lives and the stories of our citizens and the ways that they invest their energies to improve our quality of life here. On our own, we can only see through one set of eyes and hear through one set of ears. Through them, and in partnership with them, we gain a broader perspective. I've invited some members of our Portage County community to be my guests this evening, to be our guests this evening, and to help put a face to some of the issues and opportunities before us in Portage County. Issues and opportunities that we will all be able to better respond to by joining together with and for Portage County citizens to improve the quality of life for us all. So I'd like to start by introducing you to Lyn Markham and her two beautiful children, Tess, age 4, and Tate, age 8. Thank you. While Lyn has professional background in land use and lakes, she recently provided public input into our new shoreland zoning ordinance. She provided that input as a mom. She testified that she wanted to ensure that Tess and Tate would have healthy lakes and rivers to grow up with, and to enjoy throughout their lifetime. The actions that we as government officials take or don't take will inevitably affect Tess's and Tate's future. Groundwater conservation and protection, essential for healthy lakes and rivers, is a complex topic. So it'll be particularly important that we seek out various public inputs and perspectives and ensure that we're not thinking only about our own way of life, that we're thinking outside our own network, outside our own district or municipality, outside our own knowledge base, outside our own ego in this, to look at our community's well-being and future through the eyes of our citizens, particularly our youngest ones. Now I introduce you to Doris Goodfellow. There's Doris. Wonderful. Doris has been a volunteer transportation coordinator at Lincoln Center for 22 years. She's a miracle worker. She helps citizens from around our county find a ride, usually a ride from a volunteer driver. She might help them find a ride to a local doctor's appointment, to a medical facility someplace else in the state of Wisconsin, where they need to see a doctor, to the bank, or to a grocery store. Doris indeed lives up to her name, Good Fellow, for she's a good fellow citizen, helping people link to resources here that help them live healthier lives as independently as possible. Doris is someone who has been providing input to the proposed coordination transportation initiative that was presented at last month's county board meeting. Doris says, "I'll do anything to be sure that Portage County people have good transportation." The city and the county coordinated transportation initiative needs our commitment. I realize we'll get some more information coming soon. I was very pleased, at the Finance Committee meeting yesterday. But it needs our commitment. Please learn more about it. It'll create a one-call center for transportation and set the stage so that we can improve both rural and urban transportation. Why wouldn't we want to reduce unnecessary redundancies in our current transportation systems of the city and the county and join together to stretch our collective resources further? Why wouldn't we want to leverage our existing resources to tap other funds that we, the county, cannot tap on our own? It took us 40 years to come together as a unified dispatch, for a single public safety communications hub is now here. A great achievement that we will complete this summer. But we surely don't have years to wait in bringing together a transportation one-call center for Portage County. Time and time again, transportation is identified as one of the top needs identified by seniors and people with disabilities, and this need will only grow as our population demographics age. Transportation in rural areas is critical to protecting our tax base, to make it easier for people to age in place so that they won't have to move to an urban area. We need to set our egos aside, do the homework, set together with the right agreements, and partner to make it happen. Let Doris's good fellow citizen nature set the tone for negotiations, and let's remember that we are in this together. The city as part of Portage County, the people of Portage County and their government. When people have transportation to necessary appointments and to work, our community is healthier, more independent, and more able to help itself to necessary services and supports. The next face of Portage County that I would like to introduce you to is Tim Siebert's face over here. Tim Siebert has dedicated 31 years of his life to connecting people to Portage County's history and culture. You'll see a reference to preserving our county's cultural traditions and history under Objective 1C of the strategic plan. Tim has bi-generational roots here in Portage County and found his volunteer role in the Portage County Historical Society, he's the current president, as a, quote, way to do history instead of reading books about it, unquote. His work through the Historical Society helps us create a sense of place for us all. If you ask Tim what the quality of life connection is, he will tell you that understanding how we got where we are can help us make better decisions going forward. Annie Wetter, Dr. Wetter, is the next face of Portage County. She's here with her son, Eli. Annie Wetter is someone I want you to meet if you haven't already also. Dr. Wetter is the chair of the School of Health Promotion and Human Development at UW-Stevens Point, where she's a professor of nutrition, and she's the associate dean of the College of Professional Studies. Annie's one of the founders of Portage County CAN. It was founded in 2006. It's a partnership of community organizations, businesses, and individuals committed to promoting physical activity and healthy eating through education, policy, and environmental changes. Portage County bike pedestrian planning effort led by our planning and zoning department, I see Jeff back here, that whole project is an example of a plan to create environmental changes, if you want to think about it in terms of public health terminology. It endeavors to create safer and easier access to exercise infrastructure like bike paths and walking trails. Annie says that, quote, people will be more active if they have the right resources, and one of the most important resources in our community is a community structured to support safe biking and walking for everyone, unquote. Annie, her students, and colleagues, including members of our Public Health Division, of our Portage County Health and Human Services, and I see Ray back here, are working collectively, collaboratively, on initiatives to improve worksite wellness, to improve physical activity, breastfeeding, and food systems across the county. Portage County's rise in the ranking of healthiest counties in the state of Wisconsin is due in part to Annie's efforts, thank you, and the efforts of Portage County CAN in partnership with our county. In 2011, we ranked 16th. Last year, we ranked 12th. This year, we rank 8th. And there is no reason why we can't rise to the top and continue to be there. Stay there. The quality of life, our quality of life is directly related to the quality of our health. And the quality of our health is directly related to the quality of our environment. There's no reason with all of this momentum that we can't make it to number one and stay there. Annie reminds us, quote, health and well-being are often seen as overly lofty or optional goals for a community to strive for. But the practical reality is our health and well-being directly impact our economic potential, unquote. When we work to maintain and improve the quality of life with and for Portage County citizens, we set the stage for high economic potential. A healthy, educated workforce, including young professionals on the rise, supports existing businesses here in Portage County, like Skyward, which will build its world headquarters here. How about that, Skyward? Yeah. Reed Hall, the CEO of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, the WEDC, on his visit to Portage County last week, referred to the quality of Portage County's workforce last week as the high quality and very attractive to inspiring businesses to take a look at the new state-certified Stevens Point East Park Commerce Center. Young professionals look for communities which have recreational assets that support their interest in active lifestyles, and we want them to have what they need to be able to stay here, raise their families here, and enjoy growing a great, vibrant career here. Lane Cozzolino, right over here, is one of those rising young professional stars in our community. She is the executive director and face of the Central Rivers Farm Shed, an organization that is perhaps best known for the Greenhouse Project, an endeavor to renovate the former Sorensen's Garden Center downtown to, quote, deepen our community's relationship with food in all forms, from growing to processing, preserving, cooking, and finally eating, of course, all while building a regional food system. Farm Shed is working in partnership with schools across our county to build school gardens and to promote and increase access to fresh local foods in school cafeterias. Through the Farm to School program, it's working to decrease childhood obesity by encouraging healthy eating habits and building connections between students and families and their food systems. Combating childhood obesity by encouraging healthy eating habits and helping them along to become more familiar with healthy food is one of the top calls to action in the Life Report, referenced under the Executive Summary tab of that report. Healthy children will be more ready and able to learn, and they will grow to be healthier workers and leaders. Andy Sikorsky, over here, is another face of our county that I would like to have you get to know. When I called Andy to see if he would join me tonight, he said, anything for restorative justice. Andy missed out on guidance from his mom and dad when he grew up in a family here in Portage County. The family had AODA issues, alcohol and other drug abuse issues. He mostly raised his sister and ended up in trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, and ended up with a felony conviction with a sentence for 2.5 years in jail. Talk to him about it, and he will tell you that he was young. When he was younger, he was feeling hopeless. This was about survival, and he didn't care who he hurt at that time. But if you talk to him today, he'll tell you that he's sober, and he's on the right track, and he's going to keep it that way. When he got out of jail in 2009, his biggest struggle was getting a job. And someone in our community referred him to Justice Works and the TEAM program, which stands for Teamwork for Employment Access Through Mentoring. Ron Carlson was the Justice Works staff member who got Andy connected to his first job after jail. Andy's been working at our recycling center ever since. He's also begun a second job in construction and remodeling under the wing of a local businessman and now aspires to build his own remodeling business someday. He continues with a mentor and will shortly begin mentoring someone else through Justice Works who needs some extra help to make sure that it's a one-way transition from jail to community again. Addressing alcohol and drug abuse is another top call to action, and it starts with healthier families. The Community and Residential Program, CRP, our new restorative justice model program that we're working on in partnership with the Wisconsin Department of Corrections, will help us continue to build human capital like Justice Works assisted Andy in building a better future. Chris Klessig, who just came in, she's in the back of the room here. Chris, thank you, is a face of accessibility for the hearing impaired in our community. She has a family history of hearing loss, and this has happened to her and her siblings. She began to investigate the issue and learned about hearing loops, which are coils that can be installed in a room to magnify the sounds in that room for those who wear a hearing aid that has a T-coil or a telecoil, which is a small copper wire in those hearing aids, or in a cochlear implant. When the room is loop equipped, it gives people who are hearing impaired a chance to hear pure, amplified sound from the public address system simply by pushing a button on their hearing aid. This is referenced in a brochure at your place tonight on the hearing loop. On August 9th at 10 a.m., there's a free public grand opening of the newly looped multi-purpose room at Lincoln Center. Our Pinery room in the library downtown is already looped. Unfortunately, though, this room is not. A 16-person committee ranked community physical spaces for priority looping, and courtrooms and other public meeting spaces are next on the list. Our physical facilities are not as accessible as they should be, so that all citizens can be engaged in participating in their government and community activities. Hearing loops cost from $2,000 to $8,000 a room, and looping the multi-purpose room at the Lincoln Center costs $2,655, $2,000 of which was covered by a grant. I listened to Chris and other advocates of equal access when I added the tactic for Objective 1C in our strategic plan, which says that we will provide support and equal access for all citizens to be engaged in participating in their county government and community. Chris partnered with others to create a fund in the Central Wisconsin Community Foundation to help provide funding to loop public places, and it was that fund which did provide that $2,000 grant for the multi-purpose room. Though there are many, many other faces of Portage County who make our community stronger, better, more healthful, and more amazing, my last guest tonight is Bill Sherrill. Bill Sherrill is the founder and president of the board for the Arts Alliance of Portage County. If there's a face of the arts and culture movement in Portage County, it would be Bill's face. He earned the 2011 Arts in the Community Award from Arts Wisconsin, the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, and Wisconsin Towns Association. Bill provided public input to our plan and proposed that we do more to integrate the arts and culture into our policy making. He proposed that we integrate art into our county publications, to partner in building our creative economy. Among community strengths noted in your life report is, quote, an evolving creative economy where artists, creative businesses, and entrepreneurs and cultural nonprofits produce goods, services, and entertainment that improve the overall economy, unquote. Indeed, the state of our county, the state of Portage County is vibrant, thanks to the many citizens, many here, but so many out and around our community, and so many in this room, such as yourselves, who make a positive difference in those organizations or networks that we work, or as individuals. Their interests, our interests, are varied and special. Their faces are beautiful, and they give from their heart, they give years of service, they give from every sector, from every walk of life and every background, from every age and every level of ability. And our quality of life is better for it. To quote John Jury, he couldn't be here tonight. He's volunteering to help with logistics for the Family Crisis Center fundraiser tonight. He's a face of active Portage County and the Green Circle Trail. In the end, he says, I don't think quality of life is a big thing in Portage County. I think it's 100 little things. And again, most of those little things pay for themselves over time. Portage County's mission is to enhance the quality of life for all its residents by providing fiscally responsible services that enable our citizens to build productive communities, families, and lives. And that's exactly what Lyn and Doris and Tim and Annie and Lane and Andy and Chris and Bill are contributing to. A healthy, vibrant, and inclusive community that achieves its vision together with other members of its community, including government members. As we plan strategically to move our whole county forward, we have so much going for us. Our hope is bright, our energy is boundless, our dedication and community spirit are unparalleled. And we have a county of wonderful faces behind us, beside us, before us, helping to propel us forward. So let's remember the faces of Tate and little tests as we chart a course for our future, as we adopt a strategic plan for our county, and then act on it, and act on it some more together in partnership with the people of Portage County. Let us march forward together and face the future with the people to guide us and to partner with us in seeing our shared visions through. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patty.